All right, let's fill this. Here's what I need, bud. Fill this with pig feed to about the halfway point. You can use a scoop because it's poopy. Got a bit of a late start today. It is getting to be a little bit cooler in the mornings, which means it's nice to get everybody out to do the chores. Kids haven't done the morning chores in a long time. My oldest son has been out for them from time to time, but I've been doing morning chores during the heat of summer at like right at 5:30, 6. I'm up and out with my morning coffee. But it's getting a little cooler in the mornings, and this morning I'm gonna have the kids all join in and help me. They haven't done the move up in the field in a long time, so it should be fun. All right, the fence is off, okay? We want to be very slow moving around the sheep. Yeah, both of them are off. Move very slowly and don't get too close to the sheep, or you will spook them and they will jump over the fence and escape and be lost forever, okay? Okay. So ready? You're going over. You're going in. You know how. All right, this is the sheep feed. Okay. Here's what you got to do. When you bring it to them, you shake it, you go, here, sheepy, sheepy, here, sheepy, sheepy. Okay. And you don't move fast, and you go nice and slow, and then you put it down, you back away, and you don't scare them, okay? Here, sheepy, sheepy, here, sheepy, sheepy. You can bring it closer. Here, sheepy, sheepy, here, sheepy, sheepy. You can bring it closer. Here, sheepy, sheepy, here, sheepy, go put it out in the middle, honey. Out in the middle? Yeah, go put it out in the middle. What, buddy? Yeah, you can just squeeze through, it's not on, the fence is off. That's great. Good job, honey. Yeah, it's okay, buddy. Hey, Bubba. You're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start moving. Every single morning, these little coonies, they're smart. They've learned when I'm here moving the chicken tractors, I turn the electric fence off. And this netting, the pig netting that's up, the little ones will squeeze under it. The bigger ones have developed a strong enough fear of the electric fence, they don't bother with it. Except for one, and he's probably the one coming over right now. Watch him, here he goes. They give it a little test to see, is it okay? And of course, my son doesn't know not to do that. If the fence were on, that would not be a fun experience. So what I've been doing is actually leaving the fence on to the very last moment and then moving the fence with it off. I'm gonna do a fence move now. You'll see how I fix this. That's the easy morning move. I didn't move the cows this morning. I'm not moving the pigs. With the kids, that would be a lot to do. But we got everybody their stuff. We got the pigs, their feed. We got the chickens all set. Kay and my other daughter were doing the milking, the morning milking. And this is what we're operating at right now. The chicken tractors have been doing fantastic. The pigs out on pasture, they're enjoying life. I've talked about this a little bit. They are doing a lot of digging, a lot of rooting in the pastures, but it's because we have them behind the chicken tractors. They're our cleanup crew. The chickens waste some feed, get it on the ground. The pigs come and vacuum it up. I'm really interested to see how our pastures are doing at the beginning of this test, because we have, literally a couple months ago we were way back there, and that pasture is growing back in. And I wanted to see were the pastures better or worse, having gone through them with pigs, doing some rooting and munching on stuff and packing in that stuff. And then the chickens, you know, their manure, the sheep, everybody going through here, I wanted to see if it was any better. So we'll take a quick ride down there and take a peek at the pasture and see what it looks like so far. It's not grown in lush yet, ready to be grazed again, but we'll get a good idea what's going on. This is pretty much back at the beginning of the rotation, and you'll see how, like, where the pigs' wallows were and where their house was is pretty bare. But the good news is I do see some of the seeds we planted, like the buckwheat, popping up right now. I can pull, you see, I'll pull this guy up. Now there is still some buckwheat seeds, but even here, like where there's a little bit of an opening, I mean, there's a really good buckwheat stalk. That's the seed I planted. Buckwheat is really good at keeping weeds at bay. So a lot of buckwheat, the pasture's growing up pretty lush. I don't see a lot of weed growth right now. I see a lot of clover, a lot of forage grass, buckwheat. It's a good sign. So far it looks really good to me. I have a couple other parts of the pasture down there to compare to. In about a month, when we are ready to bring animals back in here or leave it for stockpiling, I'll be able to really see, is this helping our pastures or hurting it? Scientifically, we have a stretch of the pasture that we did this to, and we have a stretch that we didn't do it to. We'll look and see what's better. I want it a little way from the fence so they don't see how he's pushing it up against the fence. Here, piggy, piggy! Here, piggy, piggy, piggy! Here, piggy, piggy! One of the best reasons I think a homesteader could have pigs for is for this. Eating all the leftover stuff that would normally go into the garbage and wind up in a landfill somewhere, or even into a compost pile. Compost is good, but I don't know, bacon is better. Pigs are awesome at turning your household waste products into bacon. Slop is one of the reasons why so many families, a couple hundred years ago when everybody had a small holding, everybody had a pig because he was your garbage disposal. You gave him all the stuff in that slop is corn cobs. It's asparagus clip, the part of the asparagus that is too woody for a person to eat. It's the bottom of the lettuce. It's the cereal and milk that your kids poured too much of and didn't finish. When you have a lot of kids, you're gonna have a lot of food waste. It's just a fact. I hate wasting food. I hate seeing food wasted. But kids don't understand yet how much portion to pour and serve, and things get wasted. Pigs make that okay. They turn all that into bacon. So what could be better than turning waste into bacon? That's why I think every homestead should have a couple pigs. Now, I'm a big fan of feeder pigs. I've talked about this a lot before. Instead of having your own 2 breeder pigs where things can get really complicated, breeding pigs is hard, and then you have like 10 pigs at a time, start with feeder pigs. Find somebody near you who sells just piglets for people to raise, to put on the table. Get yourself at least 2 of them so they're not unhappy, and do 2 feeder pigs every year. We used to do that every single year for like 6 years. We did that back in Connecticut, just getting feeder pigs, growing them out. And we went from getting 2 a year to getting 12 a year and selling them to other people, the feeder pigs that we raised. That way we could take the winters off and we didn't have to mess with that. And also, we actually were able to be a farm, be tax exempt because we sold the product. Feeder pigs is an awesome way to do pigs and not have to worry about breeding, having large sows and boars, wintering pigs, which is a nightmare. I have an entire class on feeder pigs in the Pioneer Library. And don't forget, we're having a huge sale, our summer sale. You get 4 months of Pioneer membership for free out of the year if you sign up for a year right now. It's $39 for the whole year. You gain access to all our bonus videos, the extended versions of our podcast, commercial free, our bonus podcasts. You can download 2 or 3 years worth with 1 or 2 clicks and just put them on your computer. And there's a class, Raising Feeder Pigs, taught by me, all about everything you need to know how to do feeder pigs. Click there to become a Pioneer for $39 for our summer sale. Don't miss out. You get 4 months of membership for free. Plus, we're doing live shows on Saturdays now, so maybe you'll be able to join us for that. Back at the house, our raised beds are doing really well. We do really low maintenance raised beds. We plant them early with mostly transplants, some stuff from seed, but a lot of transplants. We do a heavy layer of mulch, and then we walk away. And we have weeded these beds 1 time. Thanks to the heavy mulch, you don't really need to weed. We've weeded these beds 1 time, and that's like all we've done. And we've watered them at the early stage before they were really strong. We haven't watered these raised beds in a month and a half or 2. So, what you got growing, honey?
I got some basil.
Ooh, give us a garden tour here. Let me grab the camera.
Whose bed is this?
Mine.
What do you got growing?
I got some basil. That was a sad little plant out in the sunroom. Now look at what he's done.
He's huge.
He's huge.
What are those beautiful pink flowers?
These are zinnias. Guess how many I have?
20.
Yes.
Nice.
Spot on, just like mommy. Nice. And some dill that replants itself. Nah. You want more?
What's that giant thing right there? Yeah.
That's a sunflower.
Any veggies?
Tomatoes. I've got some tomatoes and fruit. Whatever. I got peppers.
Let's see your peppers.
This is my money.
Oh yeah, let's see your peppers. What happened to that one pepper plant?
That pepper plant in the back there is destroying what? Tomato horn?
Tomato hornworm.
Tomato hornworm.
What did he do?
He destroyed it. That's a hornworm.
Remember that worm, the tomato hornworm we found?
But now it's growing peppers, so it's not that bad.
That's good.
It's this one.
Hey, look at that. He just pruned it for you. See that?
What did it look like? Trimming.
He did a favor for us. We didn't prune our pepper plants.
What?
All right, how about you give me a tour of your bed? What's going on here?
So, my bed is never the bed for flowers. It's always a jungle. We got some flowers. So, for starters, here are the peppers, which I don't know what they are, because I used to, but I don't really keep track of things in the garden. Here's are the other peppers, which are growing right here, and I don't know what they are, but there are 1,000 of them. Some tomatoes over here. And then if you come over here, you'll see I got some squash going.
What about your garden, honey? What's your garden?
I have a red tomato.
You have a red tomato? Where's
Yeah.
that red tomato? Wow, look at that. 1 red tomato. Oh, you picked it. You gonna eat it?
I think that was baby.
Oh, okay.
I think another one.
You're gonna have a whole collection of red tomatoes. You got a lot of tomatoes.
I
Look at
saved one
you.
last time.
You're a tomato pile here.
Show them your
Oh, what's this little thing here?
A sunflower.
Come here, tell me about it.
A sunflower.
But it's so short.
Sometimes sunflowers don't like that.
Is that your special mini sunflower?
Yeah.
Is that your baby
You gonna sell
sunflower?
seeds for those online? on your Etsy shop?
And there.
And there's your big ones. You can grow them tall, you can grow them small.
I saved another tomato.
There's a change in the air. Every time August rolls around, you can start to feel it. Not during the day. Still pretty hot and muggy during the day. But these mornings, it starts to get a little bit cooler. Feels like summer's coming to a close. And this was a hard summer for us. There's some other, you heard Luna's not pregnant. We had some other things happen. We'll show you in the next couple videos that have not been great. But you know what? I talked about this in a recent blog post and email. Oh, 1 second. If you're not on my email list, you should get on that email list because I got a new podcast coming out that is only going to go out to the email list. And I talked about it in this blog post. But I also talked about in this blog post about resilience, how homesteading makes you resilient because you lose and you get hit and you get punched, but then you come back and you prepare for that next time and you get hit and punched again, but you were more prepared for it, but you find out where you weren't and you come back and you get better. And every time something bad happens, you get better and you get more resilient. And that's why I'm making a new podcast because I want to help people really get started homesteading. So this one's a little different. So click there to join the email list. You're not going to want to miss that new podcast. It's coming out soon. Stay tuned for it. Thanks for joining us for our little morning tour with the kids. We're going to head inside and have some breakfast.